Hi, Karina. It's Meredith Gilmore. How are you? From Maria Sharapova's office. How are you doing?
Meredith pre-stroke was this active woman who ran her own company, managing athletes around the world. I had 45 people that reported to me. I was always on the go. I loved my job. And I realized at one point in time when Colin was about to turn 5, I wasn't home and he needed me more at home. So I said, I'm going to leave the corporate world and I'm going to start my own company. And the first person I called was Maria Sharapova. And she's like, would you like to work together and head up all my communications, marketing, and branding? I said, sure. From there, I grew my business, incorporating Colin Kaepernick from the San Francisco 49ers and Cam Newton from the Carolina Panthers. I was always on a plane, had a full family life, being mom and a wife. And then I had this stroke. Poof, what happened? I don't know. I was on my way to my dearest friend's wedding. I celebrated till 4 a.m. You know that strange sensation you get right before you sneeze, like you're sniffing a really large dandelion? I felt that, and then everything went black. The first doctor that I was brought to had given daunting scenarios to my husband. The first being, I would be in a vegetable state. The second being, I would have no feeling on my left side. Or a third, there could be a miracle and I could recover fully.
This is the left side of her brain and this is the right. Meredith had an ischemic stroke, meaning a type of stroke where blood supply to a certain territory of her brain was blocked off for a period of time. Meredith is not necessarily our average patient. She's certainly younger than patients that we typically see. She was an incredibly active person. She had run 8 miles the morning of the stroke. Before I met Meredith, I took a look at all of her imaging studies that we have. Walking into her room, I was, prepared to see a patient who likely couldn't get out of bed.
I had been moved from the neurology ER to a regular room, and I remember when Dr. Loomis came in for the first time, and I was really scared about what was happening. I didn't know what was going on with my brain, my body.
When I walked into the room, what I found was a very bright and cheery young woman sitting up in bed, talking to her mother and her husband, moving everything just fine.
She sat down with me, she calmly talked to me. Felt like I had someone on my side, a team player.
We often tell patients when they come into the hospital that their recovery is going to be over weeks to months and potentially even years. And so patients often get frustrated. Depression is common following a stroke. We work with patients to try to get them to really work kind of as hard as they can and keep a positive attitude.
Positive energy in people is critical in your recovery. So lucky because I work with professional athletes, they understand injuries better than anybody else. My body had no energy. I couldn't really walk to the end of my driveway, which was just a very few feet. And then I started to slowly walk to the end of my driveway to my mailbox. It was snowing a lot this winter. So my son Colin decided we would do indoor rock climbing as a winter sport. One day he said, Mom, why don't you climb?
One day I was sitting at my computer and an email came through and it was from Meredith. And it was a video of her rock climbing.
She's like, she's rock climbing? I was like, I'm rock climbing, Dr. Loomis, yeah.
It was just absolutely amazing to see this woman that we had all taken care of rock climbing with her son.
You know, I always say this stroke, it was a stroke of luck. The stroke gave me an opportunity to be fully present with my child. We became much closer because of it.
Meredith really found a way to find the silver lining in all of this.
Really, my husband is my superhero. My husband moved heaven and earth to get me to Yale New Haven Hospital. He wanted the top-notch care, the best of the best for me, which inevitably, I think, led to my successful recovery. I've been running a lot. I'm up to 14 miles now. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to give myself a goal. I'm going to run the New York City Marathon. All my athletes are like cheering me on, and like Kaepernick's like, go Mare, go, like you're gonna crush it. If I can get past the stroke, I can get past this marathon. So true.
Nice, Mare.
That was so hard. I was like, a year later, I'm proving them wrong. It's the miracle that worked.